Okay. So today we're going to focus on just strictly words. Today we're going to focus on strictly like straightforward words. And then Monday we're going to look at like more situations. Okay.
What are you doing?
Okay. 7 more than 3 times a number. Let's just talk about that. 7 more than 3 times a number. Huh? More. What operation is that referring to? Okay, add, subtract, multiply, divide.
Oh. Add.
Add. 7 more means we're adding 7.
7 more than.
3 times a number. What operation is that? Okay, that is times. I don't care what a number is. You can say X, you can say A, you can say C. Anything but O is probably going to be just fine. So 7 more than 3 times a number would look like this right here. 3x plus 7. When we have those phrases, a number more than, a number subtracted from, a number less than, those are our backwards phrases. Okay. Is greater than. With your fingers, show me which symbol that is greater than. Is it this way or is it this way? Which one? Okay. Is greater than. 34. Okay. So that's step 1. Step 1 is we actually have to write the inequality. Now, once we get it written, we're going to solve it. So now we're going to write it over here. 3x plus 7 is greater. Okay, you know what?
This is the right page.
If your name gets written up here, you're going to spend time with me after school. Depends on how many tallies you have at the end of your name.
So if I have one, that's 5 minutes. I mean, that's 1 minute.
We are now going to solve this 2-step inequality. So what I need you to do is draw your fence. Okay. Caesar, what's the first thing we need to undo? We need to subtract 7 from both sides so we can undo the addition. Okay. So we get 3x is greater than, yeah, 27, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Emma, now what do we need to undo? Okay. So we get x is greater than 9. Very good. Okay.
What about our number line? Where's the number line at?
We're not going to worry about graphing these. Okay. We're just going to focus on 2 things. Number 1, we got to write the inequality. And number 2, we need to solve the inequality. All right, read through number 2. Just process it for a moment. $15 less than twice a number. 15 less than twice a number. What does 15 less? What operation is that? Okay, we're talking about minus 15. And what about twice a number? What operation is that? Okay, this is specifically multiplying by 2. But do you notice how it says 15 less than twice a number? So 15 less than twice a number. The twice the number has to come first, and the 15 is being subtracted from it. Okay, so that's one of those turnaround phrases. 15 less than twice a number. Is less than or equal to? Yes, that's the correct sign. Emma's telling me that this is our sign for less than or equal to. Do you agree with Emma? Yeah. Okay. Negative 23. Okay, let's go ahead and solve it. Let's go over here. 2x minus 15 is less than or equal to negative 23. Jacob, what do we need to do first? What do you need to do first? Okay, Jacob says we need to add 15 to undo that subtraction. So we have 2x is less than or equal to what? What's negative 23 plus 15?
-4.
Is it actually?
Negative something. What is it?
Negative 12.
Negative 8. Thank you, Marco.
Good job, Marco.
All right, Kaden, what's our next step?
You're going to divide 2
Throw that last.
x by itself to both sides. So -8 divided by 2 is -4.
Okay, do I have to flip my inequality sign?
No, because it's not divided by negative.
We are not dividing by a negative, so we do not need to flip the sign. Thank you. Okay. All right, go ahead and read through number 3.
Miss Hannah, why'd you give us the hardest one that we discussed? What's the product?
Like, so, -7x.
Hi, bro. They know.
So, product of the whole. What do I say?
So a product of a number, basically like, think of it as this, the product of is like telling you that a number and 7 is what's being. You can go right first, but yeah, well. So that's that first sentence of the product of a number and 7. Increased by 9 plus 8 plus 9
No.
is at most.
Hey, product. The product of a number and -7. Tatum, what does product mean? So -7 and a number are being multiplied. Why? Okay, product just means multiplication. Now, is increased by 9. What operation does increased mean? Somebody other than Kadem. Allie. What? We're going to add 9. Okay. Is at most. What does that mean?
Greater than,
Let's
Less
say.
than or equal to and then 216.
Less than or equal to 16 is at most, the most it can be is 16, or it has to be less than. Okay, so now let's talk about solving this one. So let's rewrite it over here. Negative 7x plus 9 is less than or equal to 16. Okay. Ruby, what's the first thing we need to do? We need to subtract 9. Okay. So now we have negative 7x is less than or equal to 7.
I don't know.
All we had to do, hey, Emma, just look up here. It's not a big deal. 16 minus 9. Oh, well, okay. So, Tatum, what do we need to do next?
Now we need to divide negative 7 by 7. And but then you have to flip it.
I knew that.
Okay, so 7 divided by negative 7 is a negative 1. Okay, these 7s cancel out. And do you agree with Austin and Tatum that we need to take this sign and we need to flip it?
Yeah.
Okay. Austin, why do we have to flip the sign? What's a negative? The answer? Since we are dividing or multiplying by a negative number, we are going to flip our inequality sign. Okay. All right. Let's set number 4 up together. The difference. Difference, I hear a minus for difference.
No, divide it.
Let me take care of it. You try to take care of it. Okay, so the difference, that means we're subtracting between 11 and 1/4 of a number. So we have 11 and we have 1/4 of a number. Now, there's 2 different options. Don't write this down yet. We can either write 11 minus 1/4 x or 1/4 x minus 11. Okay, who votes the first way? Who votes the second way?
I want to read it again.
Who votes the first way? Who votes the second way? Okay, so nobody has an opinion?
I know. I want the second one.
Okay. Difference means subtraction, and then we need to take it in order.
No, actually the first way. The first way.
11 minus 1/4 x is what we need. Okay. Is no less than. Greater than or equal to is no less than, greater than or equal to?
Yeah.
You agree with Kanaya? Yeah? Yes? Yes, she's right.
Good job, Naya.
Negative 8. Never second guess yourself. Or the birthday girl, for that matter.
Always second guess Naya.
No. All right, so we have 11 minus 1/4 x is greater than or equal to negative 8. Go ahead and rewrite it. We're going to solve it. This one's very interesting. Okay. Okay, Tony, what's the first thing we should do?
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out what's that thing. What's
1/4 x. So minus 1/4.
Neither. Okay. Tony, what number do we need to move first? I asked you to stop. I need you to stop. We don't need to do anything with 1/4 yet. What do we need to move first? Uh-huh. So what number is the furthest away from X? 11. So we need to get rid of the 11 first. And since it's positive, we need to minus it. So now we have negative 1/4 X is greater than or equal to negative 19. Make sure that this subtraction that's with the 1/4, we didn't undo it. It's still there. Not yet. How do I undo this 1/4 X, Kanaya? Multiply by what? What is that called when we multiply by 4, the negative 4 over 1? Reciprocal. So we're gonna multiply by the reciprocal. So we get X. What is negative 19 times negative 4?
It's 64.
Close.
How much is it? 73. Oh, wait.
Caesar? What's 19 times 4? Kale? I need you to stop talking. What? 76. What's a negative times a negative?
Positive.
A positive.
Oh, it's a negative, sorry.
Okay. What about my sign?
Really?
We have to flip it. We multiplied by a negative. So we need to flip the sign. I'm going to give you 60 seconds to write down what you think. Don't solve them. Write down what you think the inequalities are for 5 and 6. Ready, set, go.
Done. Oh, nice.
10 minus X divided by.
10 minus so far.
How do you just write it down?
Just write it down.
At least
You're weird.
lower than
Oh.
Oh, it does.
Okay. Okay, let's talk about number 5. 10 is subtracted from the quotient of a number in -3. What do you have?
I have 10 minus X divided by -3 greater than or equal to -1. Is that right or no?
You are very, very close.
Oh my God.
But the only thing that you got a problem with, this subtracted from, that means we have to write it backwards. So it needs to be X over -3 minus 10. Okay?
Divided by X minus 10.
Nope, it has to be X divided by -3. Okay? I need you to wait. Okay? When you have subtracted from, or like in number 2, 15 less than, that's when we need to write it backwards. Okay? Now, the sum of 7/8 of a number and 20. Wes, how did you write that? So no. because we already talked about 5 and you should have rewritten it how we talked about.
X plus 7.
So I like the plus 20. But the 7/8 of a number, we're gonna write that as 7/8 x. So 7/8 x plus 20 needs to be the left side, okay? Is minimum 34. This says minimum. So what's our sign, Tony? Minimum
Plus, wait, greater than,
or good, 34, like that. Yeah, so minimum 34 and above. Minimum is 34. Okay, I'd like you to turn to page 20. Page 20 is your homework, but you can cross off number 8. Why?
I want to number 8.
Okay.
Wait, why though?
Oh, no, not this page. Page 20. Page 20.
Do we go to the library now?
You need to get number 1 and number 2 done before the bell.
Can I go to the library now?